So welcome everyone. Think we can maybe start. So just before we begin reading and reflecting, let us just take our one moment of silence to ingather our consciousness on the mother. So we'll just maybe pick up the threads from where we last left. So just a few paragraphs into the... Yes, sure. A few paragraphs into the preface that we were reading. Yeah, I think a little bit is left, and then we can, yeah, this last bit is left, and then we can take up further other things from Champaklal Speaks. So last time we had read until page here, but there's no page number as such. And why has he chosen to serve? Because it is his spiritual dharma and it was the mold of his soul. So this was the last paragraph that we reflected upon. So maybe we can pick up threads from this paragraph itself, start from here, and yeah, then take the last bit in the next page also. Yeah, would anyone want to read?
Yeah, Monica, I'll read. Hello? Monica, can you hear me?
Yes, I just nodded my head.
Okay, I didn't see that. I was
You
sorry.
see, I thought you will get the telepathic nod. So please go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, and why has he chosen to serve? Because it is his spiritual dharma. In his very childhood, he perceived that service to the divine was the mold of his soul. He serves the divine in and as the Guru, the Mother Supreme. But he also serves the divine in the endless humanity that comes to the Mother's feet. Yes, he serves you and me also. He will never allow a wrong to pass unrighted, however humble be the victim involved. I have always held that he is the one man in our world here who stands for principles and who will fight for them, no matter what the consequences be. No doubt, certain elements tend to exploit his nature and at times do succeed, but that is not because he is really deceived. He deliberately allows the benefit of the doubt to others, sees some good or deliverance coming to them through whatever apparent evil. So, till here, Monica,
Yeah, I
we'll read.
think you can go ahead. Yeah.
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 All of us know he will not suffer fools and knaves for a moment. They call out his wrath in an ample measure, but Rudra soon yields to Shiva. he feels immediately sorry for his temper and makes up for it abundantly and gracefully. Like a child, Balavat, he will tell you how anger has been his curse, how he cannot help it until you begin to feel sorry for creating a situation that caused the flare up. Can you help loving such a man? So evolved, so privileged, and yet so transparent, so humble. Beautiful, no? I have watched him from a distance, come into closer contact with him for some time, and what I have seen, felt, and experienced made me exclaim one day in his presence to a friend. He is the one man who can be an, what is that? Atmara.
Atmarati.
Okay, Atmarati. One whose delight and contentment is in the self of the Upanishad. He is so impersonal in attitude. He is attached to nothing. He, however, came down on me. He started cataloging all his supposed defects and, sorry, and vehemently disclaimed what I said. I was moved by his humility and strengthened in my conviction. Conviction. Why don't you tell us his name? You might ask. Is it really necessary to do so? Is there any other like him?
Thank you.
Beautiful.
So, any thoughts, any reflections are welcome. With children, we see this why he writes Balavat, like a childlike anger. And with kids, we see it very often that amongst them they are playing and maybe they get angry over each other, but in the next moment they are very happily playing again with each other. So that doesn't prolong, that it's not carried over to other moments. It doesn't spoil the other moments. So I think that's what he refers here as balavat, childlike temper. In one moment very angry, in other moment, where is the mother or where is the friend, something like that. Yeah. And with us, the problem is that if one moment we are feeling angry or maybe irritated, we actually ruminate over it and we carry it in all other moments. So that becomes really problematic. And we not only carry it in other moments, we carry it over years. We are not able to forgive one person whom we got angry at, or maybe the other person got angry at me. For years we ruminate upon it, and that becomes poisonous. Yes, Shardaji?
Actually, we want to carry forward.
There is a delight in that carrying forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
very true, very true. And that's why we have
Yeah.
to change
I have
our.
seen in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week something happened.
Hmm.
Somebody said something to me, but I was feeling all sorts of things in that moment. But I wanted to forgive and forget that incident. But something in me wanted to carry forward that same word, and I understood. This is purposely something in me is wanting it. For 2 days I was in that that circle of, it was a cycle, like how he told me in front of everyone. I really got hurt, I was insulted, I was feeling very bad, all that thing came keeping on coming to me. Then finally I went and sat in front of the mother. I told her, Mother, I don't like this. I don't want to be rude. But something in me wanted me to be rude to that person. I couldn't help it. So for 3 days, I didn't speak to that person. I was just avoiding the call. So if I speak, I had to be rude. Something was telling me, but I don't want to be rude. So it took some 4 days for me to settle myself. Then I spoke to that very person in a normal way. But for that only, I'm saying, something in us, that ego, I don't know whether it is only ego, something else must be. It was too much. I could see the movement of that ego, that lower vital. So now, even now, in the corner of my, heart, that is there. This person told me like that. Huh? This person told me like that. Yeah, it is very interesting to watch all the movements, but we have to be, we can't help it. We are not like Champaklal ji, no? Of course, we cannot be.
And Champaklal ji also cannot be like you, Sarda ji. We all are one masterpiece, There's no one like each one of us. So yeah, yeah. I think as mother says, you rightly said, that this, if one looks and watches the inner entertainment going on, there is no need for other entertainment. And the other, no, mother says, and the other thing is that as you said, that there is no other way but to go through all these experiences and in gradations become more and more conscious of them, and then slowly when we have some higher thing that gives us delight and we stop to take delight in this mental rumination, then actually it loses grip. But again, as we all know, it a matter of losing our old habits of taking still delight in that rumination. So when we will get something higher from which we now have our delight, because delight, as we have many a times discussed, that since delight
Yeah.
is the basis of existence, if so far whatever I am continuing the older habits, they are giving me delight, there is no chance that I can leave them or they can lose the grip over me. But slowly I think we all have our experiences and we see that no, now I don't take delight in this, let me not go there, and we do that, slowly it happens. So
Beautiful.
I mean, we have to get a better taste in the mouth. Like,
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
if I am used to oily, spicy, all kind of food which spoils my health, and I am habituated to it, now I have to get a better taste for something good which is healthy for me and not poisonous. And it takes
Yeah,
time.
this time, interestingly, I watched myself. Usually we try to rewind things and feel sad. There was a taste in that. You telling someone, see, this person told me this. So again rewind, again rewind, and again feel sad. But this time I decided I'm not going to tell anyone. But it took 3 4 days for me.
Yes,
But
yes.
still, at
Still a
least
progress.
I
Still a
was,
progress. Yes.
yes, at
Yes.
least I was not, and I was feeling, strangely, I was feeling very bad that I am not able to be rude with anyone.
Hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was scolding myself. Why you
Hmm.
cannot be rude?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
All these, within
Hmm.
3 4 days,
Hmm.
I have seen lot of drama in me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And it
I
was
think.
interesting.
Hmm.
And I was scolding myself. Then I went to the mother. I told her everything. I wrote to her. Then, this
Hmm.
ego, little
Hmm.
bit, it was melted, and I came
Hmm.
back to normalcy. Because,
Hmm.
when the phone rings, I can't even, see that name. Ah, this
Hmm.
person. Ah, this
Hmm.
person.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Then in inside me, I had a bhashan also. See, you are attending so many sessions, Sharda. It is not right. Then what is
Hmm.
the use of attending all the sessions and
Hmm.
hearing and talking and telling yourself that you are the mother's child? No, this is not right. It's
Hmm.
okay, leave it. It's okay, leave it. I told myself so many times. Then within 4 days, everything settled. Now
Yeah.
I'm able to, talk to that person very
Yeah.
nicely. There is
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
But still, we don't know, as we always say, how many days, how many births we are going to take,
Hmm.
make progress.
Hmm.
Yeah. In that way, all these sessions are really helpful. Thank
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
so much, uh, both
Hmm.
of you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Really
You know,
nice.
I think
Yeah.
some of the sports are our tough attached sports. They take more time than the other ones. For example, somebody said something, but that somebody has a special relationship with you, right? And if maybe it was maybe your child, or maybe something where you have a little bit non-sticky kind of love, then it would not bother you that much. But wherever sense of self is attached, there to let go of that incident takes a longer time.
Sorry, Monica, can you come again? Sense of self means
Sense of
what?
self means the ego self, of course. So some sticky point is there, and that sticky point,
Okay.
we don't know whether it started from this life or maybe coming from previous lives, but somehow that person says something, we just can't take it. But if others are saying, yeah, yeah, we can shrug it off the shoulders very soon. But if that person says, it hurts our ego self immediately, right? So we have all such kind of people in our life, and these are like tough stains. Like there are, on our clothes there are tough stains, and then there are milder stains. On milder stains can go with 30-40 degree wash, but the tough one would need several rounds, and that to 95 degree. The color may go, but the stain is not going. So it's that kind of tough sports, and takes time, as you said. Yeah, but it's good that we can laugh about it and take it on the
Yeah.
path.
It was interesting. Yes.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Anyone else wants to add on?
Yeah, I love your line that the color may go, but sometimes the stain refuse to. And I think if we remember this, how we read, right, that ego doesn't care about your well-being. All it wants is that मैं हूँ, right? So it's not your hiteshi, right? It's not in your, I don't know, again, welfare. So knowing that, I think really helped me see it for what it was. Even at one time, if I could relate with that, it doesn't. And after knowing that, when I looked back, I did see so many instances when, because of ego, I didn't do something, or I did something which I would never want to do or not want to do, kind of a thing. And yet, obviously, it comes again and again, but at least knowing, because initially we stick to things like, mera dard kind, and it is more pious, it's more kind of, like say, when we were talking about anger, when Sardaji was saying that how just the name on the phone creates that thing. It's really interesting to see that it's in me that it is being created, right? The other has technically nothing really to do with it. Because if there's one person and 20 people know them, if I am feeling something about him or her, the other 19 might not be feeling that at all. So there's some link between me and that emotion. So once, I had done this, that, okay, I got really angry at somebody. And the same day I had listened to a discourse which said that if you ever feel an extreme of emotion, just remove the second person out of the picture. Just you and what you're feeling. So I remember I felt something and I wanted to, kind of scream and shout. And I was like, no. And I just went into the washroom and I looked at myself. I was like, just me and this emotion right now, just that. And within less than a second, the emotion was like it didn't exist. Like I was shocked because everything needs a stimulus, right? A trigger. If this person causes me to behave that way, so if that trigger, you say, okay, there's no other, right? Just remove them. It's right now me, and it was gone. Like I was like, is this for real? And I didn't have to do that again. And yet that shifted something for me, right? When you see how the mechanics work, and when we see the mechanical nature of things, somehow to give that upper position कि मेरा गुस्सा, मेरा दुख, like again, it's not funny and yet it is, say my brother, right? So there are certain things that trigger me, like a particular song that reminds me of him and stuff. And now, and somehow I started realizing that very soon, okay, whenever I see this or listen to this or say, somebody says that, that triggers me. So now as soon as I even see the name of the song, if I have to listen to it, I already know कि अच्छा अब देखना क्या होगा. So then it doesn't grip. It shows the mechanical nature of things. So then it's not, it just helps you in staying with less drama, is all I'm saying. That everybody is entitled to feel the pain or whatever. And yet when you see, why is it not there all the time? Why only when, say, there's Rakhi? Why is there when there is, this festival or that song? It's very factual, right? कि who am I fooling? इतना दुख है तो हमेशा दुखी रहो kinds ना. So just it's nice to play with these emotions, see them for what they are as much as we can. We all have our own limitations and ways which will shed if we want to. So Sadaji, you will become whatever you want to be. It's just that one has to aspire, continuously, that I too want that and please give me. So I, yeah, very strongly believe.
Yeah, Taru, I have a question here. See, just now you said, one song or particular situation make you remember your brother. Even for me, whenever we have any festival or so, I always think about my brothers. I'm not able to come out of it. It's 1.5 years since they left. But still, see, now Shankranti is going to come. For everything, my mind always, whenever I listen to any nice, good song, my brother and me will always talk about, discuss about it. So everything will come to me. But, I'm not able to, for some time I will be sad. I will be sad. I am not able to come out of it fully. It hurts me very badly, but afterwards, it will take some time. Then I will tell the mother, anyway, he is with you. Then why should I bother? I will tell you what I have to tell you. All that dialogues will happen, but this I'm not able to come out still. And another thing you said, if you are angry on someone, leave that second person. And how did you deal that anger, Taru? If you can explain, it will be of great help to me. So you will see the anger as what?
Yeah, Sadhaji, I would just share what happened to me exactly. So I just came home from somewhere, and the person at home, they were like that, whatever. They said something which wasn't right, and thankfully I don't remember it. And I got really triggered, like, how dare he, kind of a thing. And usually at that time, मेरी रानी की झांसी वाली sword निकल जाती है कि how did you say this? This is not called for, that kind of story I usually go toward. But at that time, I basically, because I just heard the discourse that it was a practice that said that if you are feeling an extreme of emotion, just know that it's you and the emotion. There is no the trigger. If you remove, for that, say in this instance, that person was a trigger, right? Who prompted that response, who was kind of making me behave in a certain way which I didn't want to, and I was allowing that because I was allowing that. So if I just remove that, okay, I will not think about, say, that person right now. It's just me and what I am feeling.
Okay.
No, there's this, and then there is that connection, right? Of, say, anger or whatever. So I said, let me remove this. Okay, no. And this was there. So this was like poof, like it was gone. There was no space for that. Just because it's like, again, it's again our dramas and our things, like not saying it in that discrediting way, but yet when we remove the trigger, that helps in seeing things for what they are, that I really didn't want to be angry, and fine. Everybody has the right, whatever, to their opinion, but why do I have to react to that, right? So it just helps in stepping back, I think. I don't know how that happened,
Okay.
but
Can be for
staying with what I'm feeling and myself.
okay. So it can be any emotion, right? Anger or
Any emotion, yeah.
okay. Okay. So next time I'll try this. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes.
Most welcome.
Actually, if you see the other way around, I'm wondering how Champaklal ji felt, like because he felt it's a curse and he couldn't help it. And, each time when it happened to him, and I feel there was a purpose, like he's also, somewhere we read no, that uh, it was, I don't know, something which said that, uh, it was to bring out things in others also, like that anger did serve as something towards others, something on, that note we read. So I'm just wondering, everything is so much beyond us. We will never understand, anger or no anger or, like fear. When you face all this and, some things trigger, I feel in the larger picture, everything has a role and till you learn what you want to learn.
Yeah.
Because just Monica, can you share that screen? Because one
Yes, yes.
sentence that made me ponder about this.
You're talking of maybe this part here.
Ha. No doubt, certain elements tend to exploit his nature and at times do succeed, but that is not because he's really deceived. He deliberately allows the benefit of doubt to others, sees some good or deliverance coming to them through whatever apparent evil.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so that made me ponder, what does this mean? So, actually, everything is beyond us. मतलब नहीं समझ
Mm-hmm.
आ रहा.
Mm-hmm. Good one. So I thought maybe what Taru and Shardaji were sharing, very important. I thought maybe a couple of other things that were coming to me while you were talking and sharing. So as Tignathan shares that we have seeds of everything in us. And it's not that he only shares it, many other teachers also share it. And somebody was trying to invoke or provoke Buddha, not invoke, provoke Buddha, and he didn't get angry. And then the person was really annoyed, like, why are you not getting angry? I mean, what's wrong with you? And he said that I don't have the seed of anger in me. So that was very stark when I heard this story for the first time. That anything, like we were talking of triggers. So anything that provokes anger in me is just letting me know that, oh, the seed is still there. Oh, like Taru was sharing that removing the storyline. So also when I'm removing the other person from my head, actually I'm removing the storyline, because the storyline create involves both me and the other person. There would be no story. I would not be able to believe in any storyline if I am removing the person from the picture. So I think that also resonates why we are always talking of not be sure of our storylines, not to believe in our, what the mind keeps on go round and round telling us. So, and again, in another way, we can share the same incident or the same experience in also another pattern, or another way of sharing would be what Tignathan shares, that when you are mindfully with any emotion, like you are breathing through it, you are holding its hand, then actually you are not in the storyline. So if somebody caused you a heartache, say, there was a trigger and caused you a heartache, now you are breathing through your heartache. There is no story that you are believing into. Because breathing, when you give attention to the breathing and to the bodily sensations of heartache, then it is impossible that you can parallelly go believing in your storyline and thinking about the other person. It is not possible, because the moment I go into the storyline, I leave my own hand. So if I want to keep holding my hand and be as my bestest friend, breathing through the emotion, the physical sensation of the emotion, it is impossible that parallelly I will also be feeding the storyline or thinking about the other person. So that's what, that's how it gets healed, that we don't give any tawajjo, any importance to what was the trigger. Okay, because of that trigger, this was what happened in me, let me deal with this. Because I'm more concerned about the seed being still there of anger or frustration. Yeah, Yashweta?
Yeah, so because anger has always been very close to my heart somehow, it's been a big mystery for me. So,
Hmm.
so I'm just wondering, how about healthy anger? Like, because I have never been able to express anger, okay? And now when I feel healthier in my mind, okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
I feel that things come to me so that, or if I'm not able to give a closure and move forward, maybe communicating and, like having that healthy sense of, like, this is what really troubled me. Like what usually we do is like, okay, वो trigger नहीं है तो like what I shared yesterday also, something that troubled me, okay, and then I have been telling myself, no, it's okay, and actually does it matter to me? So deep down it doesn't, and so much conversation and all that, okay, and then just one trigger me, somebody just telling me that this is not fair and why are you just taking it, you should stand for it, and then something is stirring in me कि actually it doesn't matter to me, but क्या मतलब कुछ तो हो गया, I mean ego got triggered कि अच्छा, and then again I am like, being with myself, no, this is not needed, I know better, and uh, तो ये चलता रहा पूरे दिन, and then फिर like when my friends came and they again said ki, no, Shweta, you should, like, this is not done, and then I felt okay, and then again I started, yeah, you're right, and so some maybe just conveying ki this was not right, and being like showing your anger in a very healthy or respectful way, because वो भी एक important step. I was thinking of Sarada ji now, like if she's thinking that, oh, why should I be rude, I want to be rude and I don't, so like, because this won't get a closure and this won't dissipate till it is put across, maybe not in an angry way, but uh, I feel that if I speak about it to whoever, that I felt that this was not done, because मैं अंदर ही अंदर सोच रही हूँ कि this is my ego, and it will go, but ठीक है, इतने दिन ट्रिगर नहीं था, and I was literally actually अंदर से देखो तो मुझे नहीं मैटर करता, okay, but a superficial layer of me still is not getting a closure, and just one person bringing it up that, why didn't you stand for it, and it's all like surfaced again, and yesterday when I said that, after talking about it with my friends, when I prepared the whole day that, I will not go this way, and still I felt that I didn't feel bad, then today I was pondering, maybe it just needs a closure. There is no anger as such aggression, but putting your point forward that this was not done, this was not right, and then I can move forward. So that is why I was wondering, like, ये ego में ही आता है क्या, मतलब also like like this part कि anger cannot always be, it's pointing at, it's a directive, na, it's like it's guiding you, anger has a role, right? I mean, I would want to know better.
हम्म। नहीं तो इतनी उछलाहट हो रही है तो कर लो ना, मतलब ऐसा क्या है?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, it's just a perspective,
नहीं मतलब कर,
उछलाहट नहीं है.
मतलब इतना अगर, if we are thinking so much about it and giving it so much attention that whether I should do it, it is healthy anger, is it not? I think we must do it. We must be angry, because then only through your experience you will get to know whatever is getting to know for you in this experience. Nobody else can tell it. No, nobody else will be able to share what exactly you have to learn through that experience. So do it. Really do it. In fact, if it seems so important, otherwise there would be no, this much, so much turmoil that should I be angry? Oh, I want to be angry, but I'm not able to be angry. Is it a healthy anger? Is it an unhealthy anger? So much energy in this turmoil. It means better get done with it. Be angry. Really. Somebody was sharing today that a relative of ours, not well, and he was having trouble with gas. It's a little bit funny. So he was like, in turmoil. Oh my God, so much gas, so much gas. What should I do? What should I do? So the other person next to him said that, nikal do. Simple. you know. So I could relate that here also कि अगर इतनी trouble हो रही है, actually go through that experience and be done with it, because that would be your practical revelation. जो वहां से आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग मिलेगी वो कोई लिटरेचर नहीं दे पाएगा आपको. तो कर डालो जिसका भी आपने खून करना है ना.
नहीं, it's just about sometimes like in the process of not being angry, वो triggers फिर आते रहेंगे. And
Totally,
once
yeah.
you just sort it, I think then you move forward. It
हाँ,
gets
लेकिन
a
उसके
closure.
लिए ना, the thing is that what we are trying to do here, why we are so confused? We are confused because we are trying to give it a healthy sense. मैं उसको एक स्पिरिचुअल रोप पहनाना चाह रही हूँ. मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि आपको कोई जरूरत नहीं है वो करने की. No need to put a spiritual robe on anger. Be it naked anger. Be that, let that be your strength. क्योंकि उसी में आपको कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है. इज इट स्पिरिचुअल, इज इट नॉट स्पिरिचुअल, इज इट अ हेल्दी, इज इट हैज, डज इट हैव अ प्रॉपर प्लेस? अरे भैया, प्रॉपर प्लेस है नहीं है, मुझे करना है. स्पिरिचुअल है नहीं हो रहा, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा, बस मुझे अपना पॉइंट बताना है, तो कर डालो ना. उसको रोप पहनाने की जरूरत नहीं है कि सी इट इज अ एंगर दैट फ्रॉम माय पार्ट बट इट्स अ स्पिरिचुअल है. उसकी कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. बी लेट इट बी नेकेड एंगर, and then the experience that it gives you will be your own revelatory experience. That wisdom, that understanding would be your understanding, that will get in, like Taru was recounting her experience, that will be like your teaching. It will not be a teaching read from a book. It's like a visceral teaching. So we don't have to shy away. I think many a times in spirituality, when we enter, we shy away from experiences. There is nothing that we can't do in spirituality. If we are on the path, we must do, we must scratch all the itches, if the itches are still there. so,
No,
so that
it's
so
the
that
other
we
way around.
so
Yeah.
that we can know, we must scratch the itches as long as the itches are there, so that we can know that, oh, whether it did me good, whether it did not do me any good. वो हमारे लिए practically जानना बहुत जरूरी है.
And you know why? Because I think the more you get into this path, you feel, क्योंकि मेरे लिए, like, since childhood I have denied anger. So now that I'm finding that strength to look at it in this way, I feel it's a growth only.
बिल्कुल.
Finally I'm getting there.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
I can move beyond it.
Yeah. So moving beyond तब होगा जब आप उसको, what you're
Right.
rightly sharing, that अगर मैं पहले, जैसे ego is the helper, ego is the bar, anger also has to be owned first before you can transcend the anger. So totally resonate with that, because so far you have not even owned your anger.
Absolutely.
है ना. तो जैसे ही आप उसको own करोगे, as long as the process takes, and then you will be able to, okay, यार मेरा हो गया, enough.
नहीं, right, I get it, because अब I'm not judging anger ना, मतलब मैं वो उसको present करके फिर I can understand better.
बिल्कुल. And again, be totally naked about that. No need of putting any gerua orange robe on it.
Absolutely.
We know we don't need that. हाँ, we don't
That
need
is
that.
the learning. Yeah, true.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. ये वही बात होगी, जैसे होता है ना कि मतलब many a times we see our parents doing something or friends doing something, and we also have a secret wish, I must one day try this. तो अगर वो अभी भी उछल रहा है कि I have to try it, तो एक बार कर लो ताकि शांति पड़ जाए और पता लग जाए भाई अब करना है कि नहीं करना. So that आई थिंक अदरवाइज वो जो तड़प बनी रहती है ना, वो फिर ना हमको इधर का छोड़ती है ना उधर का, उसी की वजह से हिपोक्रेसी आती है लाइफ में, दैट यू अपीयर समथिंग एल्स बट यू आर समथिंग एल्स, यू नो. सो या, यस प्रियंका.
Such an interesting discussion. So relatable.
Thanks to Champaklal ji.
And झांसी की रानी, ये वाला तो इतना रिलेटेबल है कि आए दिन मेरे मुंह से यही निकलता है कि बस अब मेरा तलवार निकला और झांसी की रानी और कत्ले आम, बस खत्म पूरे. तो so yes, it's so funny कि in my I have felt that my ego and my anger behave so differently with different people. And I got so reminded of my relationship with my father. So we would sit and talk on anything, the most important topics. And 2 से 3 लाइन बस, चौथे लाइन तक आते आते तो लड़ाई होनी है. हम लोग अलग अलग tangent पे. He is talking from a different wavelength and I am talking from a different wavelength and we never meet. And I am like feeling so helpless that why is he not able to understand what I am trying to say? And he's coming from a different wavelength where he feels, how stupid, how can she talk like this? And I think after just 5 to 10 minutes, I will just get up and walk out. And I said, okay, this is very disgusting. तो मैं जा रही हूँ, आपको नहीं समझ आ रहा, it's fine. And I'm out. I've walked out of the room. I've gone to another room, done something, forgotten, come back. And we both have, I don't know, I mean, कहाँ गया वो बात जो हुई थी और जो वो लड़ाई हुई थी, वो पता नहीं कहाँ गया. And I have seen that with my kids also, that many a times I'm sitting down trying to tell them something and they are arguing, trying to find logic, trying to find sense in what I am trying to say, the teenagers, you know. And फिर मेरा आएगा बिल्कुल, you know, ऐसे मम्मा प्लीज वो डीप वाली बातें मत शुरू कर देना, सिंपल नॉर्मल बातें करो. एंड आई विल से देखो, सब कुछ सिचुएशंस को शब्दों में एक्सप्लेन नहीं की जा सकती, कुछ सिर्फ महसूस की जा सकती है. सर ओके मम, आप जस्ट इनफ, स्टॉप इट ना. फिर शुरू हो जाएगा, कहाँ से कहाँ चले जाते हैं, ऑल दैट. एंड देन समटाइम्स these sweet conversations, but many a times it would be unpleasant, and I would just stay quiet because because while talking I've understood that I can't argue it not making sense. I am not making sense, and I sit and I'm feeling bad, and we have walked out again. And I think अब क्या करूं, अब तो दो ही, कई बार ऐसा होगा कि भाई मुंह फुला के हम दोनों बैठे हुए हैं, ये भी है, बट कई बार ऐसा भी होगा कि शायद उसी ने रिजॉल्व कर लिया, you know, he's come back and he's talking normally to me, or I have, okay, just half an hour के बाद normally. And I have seen with some other people, when I am angry, this doesn't happen. I hold on. It plays. I am possessed with the thought. And I go into the victim zone इतनी आसानी से कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ. एंड वो चलता रहेगा टेप रिकॉर्डर अंदर दिमाग में. कितनी बार अपने दिमाग को बोलती हूँ शट अप, उस मोमेंट के लिए शट अप हो भी जाता है और कुछ काम में फिर उसके बाद ढूंढ ही लेता है वो, क्योंकि वो सोचने की इतनी आदत सी हो गई है कि मेरे साथ बुरा हुआ और गुस्सा आ रहा है, एक सोच दूसरी दूसरी तीसरी और सारे नेगेटिव थॉट्स. और क्यों वो गुस्सा मैं कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाती, क्यों नहीं भूल पाती, जब किसी रिश्तों में मैं एकदम से वहां भी डिसएग्री हुई, वहां भी कई बातें ऐसी बोल दी गई जो हर्ट भी हुआ और फिर ड्रॉप भी कर दिया. तो शायद कई बार लगता है कि शायद कुछ रिश्तों में हमारा समर्पण ऐसा है, शायद हमारा सरेंडर ऐसा है, शायद हमारा कनेक्ट इतना डीप है, शायद हमारा ट्रस्ट इतना डीप है कि हम कुछ भी कर लें, एक दूसरे को थप्पड़ भी मार लेंगे तो भी उसमें हमें प्यार ही नजर आता है, उसमें कोई डाउट नहीं आता है. बट जहां हमारा अपना डीप रिलेशनशिप नहीं है, जहां हमारा और अपना वो डीप कनेक्ट नहीं है, जहां वहां पे शायद मुझे लगता है कि बहुत सवाल मन में आते हैं. यू नो, आई एम अनएबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द अदर पर्सन एंड आई हैव माय ओन डाउट्स, माय ओन फियर्स, एंड all these doubts and fears take me into a negative thought process and make me weak. My anger becomes much bigger. And I often think कि relations में there are some relations very difficult to handle, and लगता है क्या ये मेरे अंदर ही कमी है कि मैं नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर पा रही हूँ, पर क्यों नहीं कर पा रही? Why is it that with my own father, or with my own, when I say my own father, I own it, I own that relation, it's so deep within me. कुछ भी हो जाए, कुछ भी लड़ लेंगे, झगड़ लेंगे, बट वो प्यार कभी नहीं खत्म होता. बट वो प्यार जब है तो वो सबके साथ वो नहीं हो पाता, शायद पॉसिबल भी नहीं है, बट चूंकि नहीं है. और जब हम पढ़ते हैं स्पिरिचुअल गीता एंड ऑल दैट, एंड वी से इक्वालिटी, दैट इक्वालिटी, तो वो इक्वालिटी आना जब तक नहीं आएगा हमारे अंदर, वो इक्वालिटी जब तक वो हम अपने माइंड से वो नहीं ला सकते कि हम मन से सोचे कि हम सबको इक्वल मानेंगे. तो वो मानेंगे, ये तो हम मे बी ये शुरुआत होगी शायद कि मानेंगे, बट ये जिस दिन अपने आप हमारे अंदर वो बस जाएगा वो मानना, तो शायद हमें सबके बारे में उतना ही डीप रिलेशनशिप रहेगा, उतना ही ट्रस्ट होगा, उतना ही वही प्यार सबके लिए दिखेगा. जैसे श्री अरबिंदो को हर किसी में कृष्ण नजर, व्हेन ही वाज इन द अलीपुर जेल, एंड ही कुड सी इन एवरी पर्सन, ही कुड सी श्री कृष्ण. सो ये काम तो हमें अपने ऊपर ही करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज अदरवाइज ये डाउट्स आएंगे. और मुझे लगता है जब आ रहे हैं डाउट्स और गुस्सा आ रहा है तो बिल्कुल सही, लड़ लो. और मैंने तो कई बार मुझे ऐसा लगता है, आओ जाओ बैठ जाते हैं और लड़ लेते, तो क्या हो जाएगा. कितना हम डरते हैं लड़ने से. एंड आई ऑफन सीन दैट वी सो स्केयर्ड टू फाइट, बिकॉज हमें लगता है ओ माय गॉड, लड़ लिया तो पता नहीं रिश्ता खत्म हो जाएगा. और मैंने देखा है जब नहीं लड़ा तो रिश्ते ज्यादा खत्म हो जाते हैं, वो ज्यादा दिमक लग जाती है और वो रिश्ते कमजोर हो जाते हैं. बट जहां बैठ के लड़ लिया, शायद बुरी बात बोल भी दी और सुन भी ली, उस मोमेंट ऐसा लगता है ये खत्म हो गया, this is over, this will. But I have seen that somewhere it has made me realize something about that person which I was not able to see. And this, I'm talking about a recent situation which happened in the family. And I was feeling very bad. Again, वो मेरे दिमाग में एक के बाद एक कोई ना कोई रीजन ढूंढ ही लेता था कि वो पर्सन मेरे साथ ऐसा कर रहा है, और वो कर भी रहा था. एंड आई थिंक आई वाज ओनली क्रिएटिंग इट, क्योंकि जितना मैं सोच रही थी उतना वही पैटर्न क्रिएट हो रहा था. एंड एक्चुअली दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन वाज, every day something was happening which was making me feel as if I am being deceived. And I was so fearing कि मैं कैसे जाके बोलूं, ये लड़ाई होगी तो पता नहीं बहुत बड़ा महासंग्राम हो जाएगा और इसका कोई फायदा नहीं है, मैं नहीं समझा पाऊंगी, और मैं शायद मेरा रिश्ता वो इतना मजबूत नहीं है. तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि ये टूट जाएगा, और वो टूटना भी मैं नहीं चाह रही थी कि वो टूट जाए. आई डिडंट वांट दैट इट शुड ब्रेक. बट कुछ ऐसा हुआ कि बस हम आमने सामने हुई और कुछ ऐसी बात हुई, ट्रिगर हुई, और निकल गई वो झांसी की रानी की तलवार, और काट डाला मैंने, बस गुस्सा. एंड उसमें जो रिएक्शन उस तरफ से हुआ, जो कुछ शब्दें बोली गई, till now it has made me realize that maybe I was behaving in a certain way unknowingly. मेरा मतलब वो नहीं था बिहेव करने का, बट मेरे ही किसी बिहेवियर से that person was perceiving me in a certain way, and that was creating a certain kind of behavior from that person, and मेरे अंदर इतनी एंगर. तो शायद मुझे मदद मिली उस गुस्से को करके. तो कभी कभी क्या, जहां बहुत ज्यादा गुस्सा है वहां कर ही लेना चाहिए. बचना होगा तो बच ही जाएगा, नहीं बचना होगा तो नहीं बचेगा. बहुत ही जो अपना है वो अपने पास आ ही जाएगा. वो कहते हैं ना कि वो चिड़िया को if you love someone, set him, that's that saying, if you love someone, set him free. If he comes back, it's worth it, any which ways. If he doesn't come back, he never loved you, or whatever, he or she, whatever. So तो कर ही लो, पता ही लग जाएगा जो भी होना है. So yeah, so just this.
Thank you, Priyanka. Yeah, that makes it so easy.
मेरी तो होती रहती है, और मैं तो अपने अंदर नहीं रखना चाहती. क्या फायदा ब्लड प्रेशर करा के. और मैं तो कह देती हूँ, देखो मैं ना अपने अंदर रख नहीं सकती, ये सब मेरे से होगा नहीं, जो है सामने बोल दूंगी, और बस खत्म कहानी, उसके बाद मैं भूल गई, तुम भी भूल गए, चलो आगे चलते हैं. Because I can't keep it within myself. If I'm feeling something within me, I have to sit down, talk, and resolve. Because I don't want to live with that that is very suffocating. If I'm possessed with that, what's the point, yeah? इतनी बीमारियां हो जाएंगी, जिंदगी जीनी है, अच्छे से जीनी है, खुशी खुशी जीनी है, तो अपना तो ख्याल रखना ही है. और जब हम अपना ख्याल रखेंगे तभी तो बाकी सबका ख्याल रखेंगे, अपने परिवार का ही नहीं, उसके बियॉन्ड भी. तो अच्छा है, ब्लड प्रेशर कराने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
sharing
think
something, Taru? Okay, Shweta, yeah, go ahead.
या मतलब नहीं, आई थिंक ये स्टेज से जा लाइक कभी जो प्रियंका जी ने कहा ना कि ओनली देन शी कुड अंडरस्टैंड द अदर पर्सन्स पर्सपेक्टिव, बिकॉज ये बात निकली तो सो मे बी मतलब आई डोंट नो टू मूव फॉरवर्ड. आई मीन हमको इससे तो आगे ही बढ़ना है, लेकिन ये एक्सपीरियंसेस के बगैर भी हम ना एक शील्ड लेके ही वो एकदम जैसे बोलते हैं ना, वो हिपोक्रेसी हो जाती है फिर. तो अगर आगे बढ़ना है टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस एटलीस्ट फॉर मी, लाइक आई एम समबडी, आई हैव नॉट कम्युनिकेटेड माई हर्ट्स, और कभी मैं नहीं बोलती हूँ, मैं सोचती हूँ हाँ नहीं ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है. तो अब मेरी जो एक आसपास के वेल विशर्स इतने घर पे बाहर जो भी सब यही बोलते हैं कि दिस इज योर प्रॉब्लम, यू विल नॉट मूव फॉरवर्ड टिल यू own it up and start standing for yourself. So ये like I feel sometimes just communicating, ये मैंने शुरू भी किया है and I think it's getting more. तो उसके आगे फिर शायद समझ आएगा. I'm just thinking.
Sometimes we are able to resolve it within ourselves. But where it really bothers, I think we should go ahead and talk about it.
So I thought maybe let's take mother's take on all this that we are sharing, because we were talking of triggers and being triggered and how getting agitated at times. Because see, not everyone is doing the yoga, we have to see, but we, the handful ones, whoever handful, it's not like we are the precious ones, there are many many others out there. But if we have gotten the opportunity to do something differently, I think we must, है ना, जो कर सकते हैं, जिनको पता है मदर के बारे में, जिनको मदर की गाइडेंस पता है, वर्ड्स पता है, अगर हम भी अपने all our lowly consciousness, if we keep kind of defending it under the garb of anything, what's the point, है ना, what's the point? Time ज़्यादा है नहीं, टाइम ज़्यादा है नहीं, वी डोंट नो हाउ लॉन्ग वी आर गोइंग टू लिव इन दिस लाइफ ओनली, है ना. सो हाउ लॉन्ग विल आई टेक फर्स्ट टू ओन समथिंग लोली and then to transcend it? We have been given this opportunity that we don't have to first own and stabilize ourselves in owning and then take our time to transcend. हमारे पास तो golden key है, and all of us know that golden key. That golden key is to completely stabilize our mind and heart on the mother and expect nothing from anywhere. Now whatever comes is as gift. If love comes from any other quarter, it's a gift, but I'm not wanting love and appreciation and validation and people smiling at me from any quarters. Why? Because I have the best, which is mothers. So this is why we are reading inspirational lives. I mean, Champaklal ji relied on nobody but mother and Sri Aurobindo. Nobody. कुछ नहीं चाहिए हमको. हम क्यों परेशान होते हैं? बिकॉज वी वॉन्ट थिंग्स फ्रॉम पीपल अराउंड अस. सम और द अदर वॉन्ट इज देयर. कुछ अप्रूवल मिल जाए, कुछ वैलिडेशन मिल जाए. मे बी आई एम प्रूवन राइट, आई वॉज द राइट वन, मे बी आई वॉज प्रूवन, I don't know, the dominant one or whatever. I don't know. There are so many dynamics is so strange and like really cobweb type that I don't even want to get there, because getting it itself is like what Kabir says. एक बन चरना, दूजे बन चरना, तीजे बन पग नहीं धरना. He says, don't even step into that forest, which is the forest of thoughts, feelings, emotions, and all these story lines and dramas. They mean nothing. They mean nothing. If for those handful ones, as mother says, if only a few people turn to gold, enough. Do we want to turn to gold? That's the question. Otherwise, we can actually give enough mechanisms that okay, this is whatever I am doing is right. है ना, कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं. फिर हमारे में और वो लोग जो योगा के बारे में नहीं जानते हैं, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? है ना, हमको तो मदर की छाया मिली हुई है, मतलब कॉन्शियसली मिली हुई है, ऐसा नहीं है कि उनको नहीं मिली हुई, बट other people may be unconscious about it. People around us, who don't have faith in the mother, or no idea about what yoga is, but we have these words in front of us. We have mother's presence. Mother says that अगर एक बार भी तुमने मेरे बारे में सोच लिया, इसका मतलब I have been glued with you in previous lives and coming lives. Forget about this cord snapping like an umbilical cord, tied forever. So इससे तो हमें निकलना पड़ेगा. We will have to transcend what we keep engaged in. This is a very bad taste. This is a very, I was actually wondering that, oh my God, we think that we think of the mother all the time, but if we think of the mother all the time, then how can we generate so much of upanyas? How is it possible? Because parallel is not possible. है ना, पैरेलल तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड अटेंशन होगी. If I am to rely on the mother, then I will be relying on the mother completely. Then I will not be giving any tawajjo, any priority to the drama happening inside, outside. All the time, this is my job, to bring the mind and the heart on the mother, on the mother, on the mother, on the mother. Nothing matters in my life but this. है ना, तो अभी हमारे लिए बाकी चीजें बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती हैं. दैट ओ माय गॉड, दैट पर्सन सेड दैट. Else the problem would be, oh my God, I want to be with the mother. I don't want to leave her even for a moment. That's what we discussed, so many masters, when divine presence becomes like breath for them, that if not for that divine presence, they just die. There are many songs, bhajans, that what will happen to me without you. So it's, if we are handful ones in every quarter of this world, I think it's our onus, let us say that it's our onus, that we have to step back from our rudimentary, crude, habitual responses. We have to take the different course. We have to, I mean, I can say this to all of us, but I can't say this to everyone, because we understand, we know what walk we are, doing. So what mother says in this prayer, 29th November 1913, when we were sharing this, just kind of came to me. I thought maybe we can take it up. Yeah, if anyone would want to read it, it would be really nice. Maybe we can take away some bits from here.
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, Shweta, you want to read? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I can read. Yeah. November 29, 1913. Why all this noise, all this movement, this vain and futile agitation? Why this whirlwind carrying men away like a swarm of flies caught in a storm? How sad is the sight of all that wasted energy, all those useless efforts? When will they stop dancing like puppets on a string, pulled they know not by whom or what? When will they find time to sit quietly and go within, to recollect themselves and open that inner door which screens from them thy priceless treasures, thy infinite boons? How sorrowful and miserable seems to me their life of ignorance and obscurity, their life of mad agitation and unprofitable dispersion, when one single spark of thy sublime light, one single drop of thy divine love can transform this suffering into an ocean of delight. O Lord, my prayer soars towards thee. May they know at last thy peace and that calm and irresistible strength which comes of an immutable serenity, the privilege of those whose eyes have been opened and who are able to contemplate thee in the flaming core of their being. But the hour of thy manifestation is come, and soon hymns of gladness will burst forth on every side. Before the solemnity of this hour, I bow down in devotion. See, maybe I feel, like it had to come out in this way for us to, read this and again get, like more clarity. Somewhere, like, there are different ways, very, like mother has her own ways to help you, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Like it comes from that, you know, ego only. Obviously, like in clarity, lack of clarity, I would say, still lack of, the way you speak with so much conviction. I think wahi, matlab, I don't have that clarity all the time. I have it most of the time, but then it can go like this. Matlab, as soon as I interact with others and, like, then I feel, like it slips. So, yeah.
Bilkul. And it slips for all of us, but the thing is that now we are getting convinced that we don't want to give any weightage to that slipping. And as Sri Aurobindo shares that if you, okay, Shardaji, yes, thank you for joining. So, Sri Aurobindo shares that if you see all these darkness in you, anger in you, jealousy in you, and of course, we are all trying to consciously transcend all these intruders. He says that don't I keep identifying with them. Now, if I keep defending them, then it means that I am identifying with them. है ना, मैं ये सोच लूं कि ये मैं हूँ. This is what I have to take a stand here. Of course, whatever is the right stand will be taken. But if we look at, for example, Sri Aurobindo's work, the amount of work he has done for the world and globally, and plus the amount of literature he has left for us, not only literature, like a consciousness that he has left for us, he was a man of few words and he did his job inside, outside, everywhere. So just to draw inspiration from that, oh my God, what all is our possibility. That silence में, peace में इतना काम हो सकता है. Oh my God, I mean, what is going on? कि बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ रही आपको. जो काम मतलब, if we look at how his attendants, when he was with his broken thigh and there were attendants around him, so it is said that he would not actually ask for anything. Even if he's wanting something, it would be like at the peak of it that he would ask, okay, maybe put a pillow behind me. Otherwise, you have to be very attentive, listening to him, maybe looking at his gestures, that oh, maybe he needs something, because he would not say. He is not wanting anything. ठीक है, कोई भी डिस्कम्फर्ट है, चल जाएगा. क्योंकि जो काम हो रहा है उसके सामने ये सब सेकेंडरी है, सब सेकेंडरी है. सो हमको भी ये ध्यान रखना है कि in the presence of this work that we are doing, it's a work for us. It's right now an effort to bring back our mind again and again on mother's presence. In front of that work, everything is secondary. Why? Because the right attitude and the right decision and the right word that I should be speaking comes from that consciousness. So मेरा पहला काम है, मुझे अपने आप को उस कॉन्शियसनेस में एस्टैब्लिश करना है. अभी वो तो हमारा हुआ नहीं है ना. और हम अगर ये बोलें कि नहीं, हमको स्टैंड लेने हैं अपने, भाई ले लो, बिल्कुल स्टैंड ले लो, स्टैंड लेने में कोई बात ही नहीं है. लेना चाहिए हमको स्टैंड. लेकिन मुझे लगता है दैट if we are exposed to Mother and Sri Aurobindo's words, there are much, much better attitudes that we can take, which are very harmless attitudes. Like they would not be harming people, they would be benefiting us and others around. As Mother says, peace, immutable peace is the best power that one can have. And we were talking of power. Anger, makes you powerful. Anger feels like, oh, I have the power. So what power do we want? Do we want the superhuman power, which is stillness and peace, immutable stillness and peace? Or do we want to do away with this little power that comes and goes? कौन सी चाहिए हमको, है ना? So having the thirst for the highest, knowing that we all can do that, knowing as Sri Aurobindo says, identify yourself with the highest and most expansive in you, not with the lowest and creepy in you. No, because that is not you. None of us is like that, creepy, crawly. चाहिए तो best चाहिए. So I think in this prayer again, Mother shares that it's like how sad, I was actually feeling this pain. How sad is the sight of all that wasted energy, all those useless efforts. If we can see the drainage of an energy, in our futile battles, I think we will actually come back to our own inner stability. When will when will we stop dancing like puppets on a string? Any trigger comes and moved. And then we talk of we are with the mother. When will they stop dancing like puppets on a string, pulled by they not know whom or what? As we were sharing earlier, anything moves us. कभी कोई गाना हिला रहा है, कभी कोई किसी बंदे ने एक वर्ड बोल दिया, वो किसी पास्ट इवेंट की मुझे याद दिला रहा है ना. कब तक होता रहेगा ये, मतलब आई मीन कब तक, है ना. अगेन व्हाई आई एम टॉकिंग टू अस लाइक दिस, बिकॉज वी हैव बीन विद द मदर फॉर सम टाइम. वी हैव द कैपेसिटी and the openness to the mother that we can now stop. The moment I get into a slippery slope, stop. Mother, nothing matters but the mother. When will they find time to sit quietly and go within? अब वो ये नहीं कह रही mother, when will they find time to take the right stand and tell what they want from the humanity? Why? Because she knows about that quiet power, that immutable silence, that how much power it has. When will they find time to sit quietly and go within, to recollect themselves? We just scattered sari threads to ingather, recollect themselves, and open that inner door which screens from them thy priceless treasures, thy infinite boons. This is the higher taste that we have to develop. कि नहीं चाहिए वो उग्रवादी पंथी, बिल्कुल नहीं चाहिए. अब मेरे को कुछ और ही टेस्ट हो गया. राम रस मीठो घणो, कबीर जी says, and he says that I have tasted it once and now I have again a thirst for tasting it again and again. अब उसका मेरे को एडिक्शन, देखो एडिक्शन तो हमको लगना है, किसका लगाएं? द बेस्ट एंड द हाईएस्ट. लाइफ ऑफ मैड एजिटेशन एंड अनप्रॉफिटेबल डिस्पर्शन. मतलब ऐसा डिस्पर्जन जिसका कोई फायदा ही नहीं हो रहा. गोल 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 हैमस्टर की जगह घूमे जा रहे हैं गोल गोल, कुछ फायदा नहीं हो रहा. Of course, that is not to discount that we all have our experiences which give us some understanding. But to put ourselves again and again in the forest of mad thought and mad feeling, that is what we were sharing here. Unprofitable dispersion. Look at this word, amazing. And then she shares the remedy. With every prayer we have the remedy. When one single spark of thy sublime light, one single drop, look at the potency. In homeopathy, we have the potency of medicines. And they say that the medicine, the potency in which the minimum of medicine has gone. And actually, if you look carefully through the microscope, you can't even find the trace of medicine. But the consciousness of medicine is there. That is the highest potency. So they say 1 million or 10 million. Because it has been diluted 10 million times. And that is why we talk about, there are people in Pondicherry talking about how homeopathy is a consciousness based approach. आपको उसमें दवाई का नामो निशान नहीं मिल रहा और वो सबसे हाईएस्ट इफेक्ट कर रही है. और lowest potency then decreases in number. So 30 will be where you can find traces. And 1 million, 10 million would be where no traces to be found, but the consciousness of medicine is there. That does its work. That's the most potent. So what she is sharing here, when one single spark of thy sublime light, one single drop of thy divine love can transform this suffering into ocean of delight. एक drop से महासागर. Who doesn't want this conversion? That's why in other prayers, Mother says that what foolish are these people talking about us, that they run away from the divine boons as if, I don't know what, maybe it will burn them or what. So this is, I think this would be my, understanding of all the discussion, and thankful for all the discussion as Shweta was sharing, that good that things come out so that they can take a different step, they can take a different route. Strength which comes of an immutable serenity. The privilege of those whose eyes have been opened and who are able to contemplate thee in the flaming core of their being. ये हमारे पास opportunity है. Jetsunma shares again and again, why should we practice dharma? Because we are opportune enough, fortunate enough. And somebody was sharing that um, I feel that some practice is really tiring me. At times I don't feel like practicing it. And I thought that maybe she would say that, okay, leave it for some time. But actually, she didn't say that. That was really surprising. She said that you have the ability to do that. You know about that practice. You can do it from behalf of all of us who don't know the practice. So when you are bowing down or doing prostrations, you imagine the whole of the beings are doing prostrations with you. Why will you do that? Because you can do it. So that was a very inspiring take, I have to say. I thought that maybe she would say, okay, leave it for some time. It doesn't matter. Only intention matters. Yeah. Yeah. So any last comments, anyone, before we end?
No, good session. Very nice, stirring session. More clarity.
Yeah. Yeah.
The clarity बस वो रहे ना, मतलब मुझे वो लगता है कि again it slips, and maybe this is the path, maybe this is the path. मतलब ऐसे ही तो करके आप आगे बढ़ोगे. See, this time now what I've understood, this means a lot. It means a lot because uh, also I think you get surrounded by people based on your lower vital, जो आपको अभी आगे बढ़ना है. तो जब सब जगह से भी आता है तो वो आप ही का कोई पार्ट रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा है. So this I felt today, like, yeah, so once you're able to get this, then अपने आप फिर काफी कुछ क्लियर होगा. Thanks.
Thank you, Shweta. Yes, Taru, you wanted to add on anything?
Yeah, I don't know whether there is any need for it now, but I will add still. You know how we keep forgetting, like again, what Shweta was saying was because again that Rani ki Jhansi ka example, that I don't think that's wrong, right? That's why I keep going back to it. And for me, again, reading the prayer was again very illuminatory as always. That once when I was about to react, for example, coming from the Rani ki Jhansi stance, which I felt was, it showed my strength. A thought came that, is this the only reaction possible? Is this the only retaliation possible? Because Rani ki Jhansi reacted, and say so did Buddha when he said, I don't have the seed of anger with me. So do I know just one type of reaction? Will I always be Rani ki Jhansi, or can I be a Buddha? So, then suddenly something shifted, because till now it felt that, wow, I have the power kinds, and yet so did Buddha, right? So that's how it shifts a little bit when I am possible. There are more possibilities. So yeah, I mean, there was more, but I think everything has already been covered in the prayer. So thank you so much.
I'm reminded, maybe we can end with that. Although we usually take it as an opening aspiration, but maybe we can end today with that opening aspiration, because the session may end, but the work doesn't end. So this is what I was reminded of. Yeah, if anyone wants to read it out, maybe we can inwardly listen and say it with that person, and then we can end.
All right. With boundless compassion and wisdom, I will work for the welfare of all. May we be free from hunger and discord, and have joy and a world at peace.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining, and thank you for sharing all that we shared. And yeah, I'm sure many of us can resonate with what was discussed today. So thank you. Thank you for the
Thank you. Thank you.
openness. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.